We all know how passionate German football fans are about their club. But did you know there's a particular set of fans who are against the name of their club? That's right, you may know them as Greuther Furth, but don't let their fans hear you call them that. In this video, I'll explain why this 3-time German champions fans do not like to be referred to as Greuther Furth and prefer spVgg Furth. It all started in 1903 when the club was founded as a football wing of a gymnastics club, Turnverein 1860 Furth. I will refer to Turnverein as TV Furth. It's just easier. However, only 3 years later in 1906, the footballers decided to split ways and make their own club because they feel they didn't get enough support from TV Furth. This turned out to be a great deal for the club as they went on to become 3-time champions of Germany in 1914, 1926 and 1929. Furth were always one of the top clubs in Germany at the time, and even in 1924 the German national team was made up of only players from 2 clubs, one of which being Greuther Furth, the other being bitter rivals FC Nuremberg. This rivalry was so deep that both clubs' players slept in different cabins from each other. However, when the Bundesliga came around, the club wasn't picked as one of the clubs from... Basically the way it was made was that the owners of the league would pick clubs from different regions to make the league, to pick 16 clubs. And Greuther Furth, unfortunately, wasn't picked. I believe it was Bayern and Nuremberg, which would have been a thorn in the Furth's fans' sides. Because they didn't make it into the Bundesliga, they had to compete in the second division in Germany at the time, which was called the Regional Liga Süd. And then, of course, they also took part in Bundesliga 2 when that formed. This is when things started to turn for the Bavarian side. The club had started to struggle with finances and debts, so they actually had to drop into the 4th tier of German football. Kind of similar to the way Rangers fell down the divisions in Scotland. They would compete in the 4th tier for 3 years and then gain promotion in 1990 to the 3rd division. Financially, they still weren't very stable, so they ended up having to sell the stadium. So in 1996, the club merged with TSV Westenbergsgrüff. I think I pronounced that wrong. I apologise. A club from the lower leagues, meaning the club was now known as spVgg Greuther Furth, as we now know it today. This wasn't something of any major concern immediately. However, fans did start to become a bit annoyed and grew restless, I suppose, when the club started to be referred to as Die Greuther rather than spVgg, which, again, probably pronounced that wrong. I apologise. The logo then changed and fan articles stopped using spVgg in the articles, and this caused the fans to feel like the club's identity was being taken away from it. They grew upset and they started a counter movement to try and get the identity of the club back. One of the reasons for this is that the fans are so proud of the city they're from and the club representing that city that they wanted the club to be recognised as being from Furth as opposed to from Greuther, which isn't a place. And of course, myself included, people outside of Germany didn't know. They thought Greuther was a place, and of course this annoyed the Furth fans. Fans want the club to be renamed back to Furth because they want to strengthen the identity of the club and promote the area that it's based in. However, this isn't as easy as a fan protest or a vote that you can do in German football. This is because the fan memberships at Furth is one of the most expensive in Germany. €120 a year for a full paying member, and these memberships are completely necessary for a club for fans to vote, to participate in the vote that happens within these clubs. And of course, understandably and rightly so, a lot of people can't afford to pay £120 a year on top of season tickets and on top of tickets and merchandise. People can't afford to pay this. And at the time, even if there was enough to make this vote happen, TSV, the club who merged with them to help them financially, would have to agree to this because they had 20% of the voting rights. And of course, they're never going to agree to take their part of the name out of the club. This isn't to say that the Furth fans aren't grateful for what this club TSV did to help them. Of course they are. I spoke to one fan and he said he would be happy with the stadium name being changed to the name of the chairman at the TSV who made such a big impact on the club. So of course the fans are very grateful for it. They just feel like the identity of this club has just been absolutely taken from the club. The main issue is that the club is being referred to as Greuther Furth, which the word Greuther has no meaning and no identity, which is what the fans want the club to have. So the fans feel that it's unnecessary and holds no real value to the club. And one of the things that surprised me the most is when the club was being renamed and a lot of its identity was changing essentially, a lot of the relics from the historic past of Furth was being just flung away, and like as the people didn't care. The people who ran this club did not care for the history and the past of spVgg Furth. And of course this rubbed the fans the wrong way, and rightfully so. However, it isn't all bad, because as of 2007, the year that Furth celebrated being 1,000 years in existence, the club reverted back to the three-leaf clover crest that the fans know and love. And in 2017, the club moved to make this crest the face or the badge of the club. It's everywhere now. They don't use the old badge. They use the current one that you'll see on the likes of FIFA and in websites, on the Bundesliga website. And they also changed the club website from Greuther Furth to SGF 1903. Although this obviously isn't enough for the fans, a campaign has started called Zurich zur spVgg Furth. Pronounced that awfully, I probably did, I apologise. Which means back to spVgg Furth. And they are active in every single game, every single Furth game. They are active in promoting what it is that the fans actually want. This had some success in 2022, as the club said that if the fans vote to change the badge and the name, TSV have no say. They can't go against it. Which of course is very important, because as stated previously, because they have a 20% share on votes, they could have just outright refused to remove that part of the name. But now the club has made a rule, an internal rule, that they cannot do that. And realistically, this means it's only a matter of time before the fans get what they want, and that is spVgg Furth instead of Greuther Furth. Let me know in the comments what you think about this situation. It's very interesting, and as I said, very few people outside of Germany would actually know this. I had no clue. I had seen that the badge had changed on FIFA, and that was about it, and I had no idea why, because clubs change badge all the time, so I didn't think much of it. But this is the first sort of video that I'll do on this sort of idea, where I talk about clubs and the history and things that are happening within these clubs. I have put a post on X with people to tell me stories about their club that I will go into next, and I've quite a lot, and there's quite a few interesting ones that I want to look at. These videos will probably be a little bit less frequent, because I do need to do a lot of research. Specifically, this video was very, very hard to find anything on Google. It was very difficult. But hopefully I can start doing more videos like this. Hopefully you enjoy it. Please don't forget to like, subscribe and comment what you want to see next in terms of these types of videos. Share with your friends, any Greuther Furth fans, or Furth fans, should I say. Share it with them. Let them know that I think this is the first video. I did look up. I think this will be the first English speaking video, or video in general, speaking about this incident. So hopefully it does well. Hopefully you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. As I said before, follow me on X. I'm on TikTok as well. I have an Instagram, but I don't really use it. My next video could be a very interesting one, actually. I'm just waiting for a few parcels to be delivered. That's all I'll let you know. But thank you for watching, and until next time, I shall see you later.